It's like part 5. The other targeted individuals aren't saying they're not going to get they're not getting they're not seeking medical attention, which is the worst thing I could ever imagine for someone. Like, what, someone's talking in your head? You don't think there's a possibility they're causing you brain damage? You don't think that there's a possibility that the meds for schizophrenia is to protect your brain? Like, are you serious? So I'm just like, I'm baffled. So they're running around. Me, on the other hand, they're making it a little more difficult because they've chopped these people's confidence down to absolutely nothing. Now they don't want to get out. Now they don't want to go see anybody. Now they just want to live in their misery. No way. Like, I mean, I'm miserable on these records. I don't care. But I mean, when I get out, I go have fun. I go hang out with my friends. I do my best to tune these terrorists out. I go to church. I go hang out with my family. I go wherever. I go to work. I, I take my time to make sure the relationships I have are nurtured. I don't just sit here hoping for them to stop. This is the way I'm handling it. This is me on this serious front, outside of, okay, I mean, everything I'm doing is like, I don't joke around with my life. It's just, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Every move I make is serious. Every relationship, every interaction, every transaction, everything to me is important. These terrorists in my head so anyways, all of this to say, this is the other side of like my schizophrenia. When I'm not ignoring it and I'm at home and I can't ignore it, because I'm not going to sit here all night long listening to music and what they want, snorting cocaine or doing drugs, that's out of the question, and I'm not going to kill myself. So this is how I'm handling it. She said, I think you were going somewhere else with it. I'm pretty sure I was too, but she's playing with my head. This is how I'm handling it. Oh yeah, that's right. I was saying about the other targeted individuals, or what they're calling themselves as targeted individuals. I've settled for schizophrenic. I don't care. People, like, why argue with them? Nobody knows what's going on, because this isn't something that's available to the public. So the best that I can do is start to discuss it now. If I sound crazy, that's fine. And then in 10 years, when this all comes out in the open, I prophesized. I'm a prophet. And people they feel terrible for ignoring me and make me. I don't even care. Here I am. I'm discussing it, and that's final. They're terrorists talking in my head. I want them sentenced to death, and the targeted individuals that are running around trying to avoid medical attention or whatever they're trying to avoid, admitting that they're hearing this, are making it a little bit more difficult for the Central Intelligence agents to hone in on these terrorists that are talking in their heads by all the therapy that they're running to get. Like, stop with the therapy. Just go get your meds from your doctor. Go to work. You don't have to entertain listening to something all the time. Actually sit down and allow those terrorists to talk in your head. Develop some thick skin, okay? All they're going to say, the whole premise of this is to hurt your feelings all the time and abuse you at the same time, so that they can make it seem as though you're the unstable one. Stand your ground, sit your ass down, don't run around, stop moving, and make it clear. No, they are terrorists talking in my head. It isn't outside, it isn't my friends, it isn't my family, they're in my head. Sit your butt down. Listen to them. Allow them to talk. They're talking in your head. That is a huge vulnerability that you can use to your advantage. I am not joking. Alexa, stop. Here I'm brushing my teeth. Look, I want to show you guys something. Aside from no one outside is doing anything to it. See the ball top? See these hairs? That was done intentionally so that I feel unattractive. So that it's actually unattractive to have this, like a bald spot. And they're laughing because they kept screaming scalp, scalp, scalp in my head back in 2018. So I just want to point it out. And I have the diagnosis and I took pictures of it. My dermatologist said it's telogen effluvium. I just did a biopsy this year and they said this should grow back. So in 2 years, you guys, I'm going to keep taking videos. This should grow back. All my bald spots in the back of my head and here should be grown back in. Okay? And I'm going to continue to also update you on what's going on with my hair. I'm going to update you with what they're doing in my head every day. I'm going to update you on, and I'm just going to sit here and record to make sure that it's very clear. It's not going on outside. You guys are saying something that isn't true. You don't know what you're talking about. They're in your head. They're talking in your head. Anyone who's been doing this for 4 or 5 years is starting to understand what's going on. So for the ones that are just now starting to hear voices and they're looking for answers, they're in your head. These are not your neighbors. These are not your friends. These are not your exes. These are not people you know at all. You don't know them. They're lying. You do not know them at all. Just sit your butt down because you're making it seem as though it's outside. It's not, honey. It's not. Those are people that are talking in your head from their home, far away from you. They're lying. They're instigating things and they're using you and they're manipulating your mind. Don't go for it. Sit your butt down. Build some thick skin. No big deal. Go see the doctor if you're starting to feel suffocated, if you're starting to feel dizzy, if you feel like you're actually feeling like the attacks require medical attention, they're not just talking anymore, then run to go see your doctor. If you're, test yourself, see where you're at, intellectually. When you go go study something, see where you're at among your peers. Like, do things and throw the terrorists off, because what they'll do is they'll talk in your head, so many of them, to try and act like that's your voice. Okay? Like, one of them will type and the other one will read and the other one will talk, and you have a lot going on. Just think of random things. Like, when they're doing that, just think of random things. It'll help kind of that way you'll keep them on their toes. Now they can't read every thought. Your thoughts move a lot faster than they can read. Make sure that you're just on occasion. That way, when they start to review these records, so there are records involved with these telepathy technologies, okay, and these terrorists are talking because these Central Intelligence Agencies have these records held classified. So God, what was I saying? So if you want them to distinguish your voice, although they already know that your inner voice doesn't have a sound. When you sit there and think quietly to yourself, people don't hear a voice, okay? But nonetheless, throw it off track and reset your own self so that you're aware of how you feel and what you're doing. Even if it's like, I want the color pink. She's playing with my head. They couldn't catch it, honest to God. Now, they play with my head like they're trying to block processes. That's why I started to stutter in my head. But if you think of, if you start to think of random shit, votes, right? They don't know what you're going to think of randomly to sit there and read it before you've thought it. And the way this technology is set up, it's quicker than its downloading speeds and its processing speeds are much quicker. I mean, at the second that you think, it's already downloaded onto the record. So just randomly think of shit. and throw them off, and then recalibrate your mind and get yourself back in order, and help yourself to see that, you know, this is your mind, and to continue on with your day at doing what it is, that you have to do. If in fact you have to go get Medi-Cal, go get Medi-Cal. It is not embarrassing. If you got to go get Social Security, go get Social Security. It isn't embarrassing. If you got to go, do what you have to do. Don't mess around. And go seek medical attention. Do not look for alternative medicine to help you. Constantly try to get imaging done. Constantly get your blood work done. Refrain from drugs. God damn it, if you do drugs. Okay, do not drink. It's not, be an adult about this, okay? Go work out. Go do something healthy. This isn't a joke. They're talking in your head. These are terrorists. They need to get sentenced to death. Central intelligence agencies, all of what's going on with the brush fires and Palestinian war, that isn't something light. This is because of this weapon. They don't want to let it go. The terrorists that are talking don't want to let it go. So now they're honing in on them because they're manipulating these records, sweethearts, and you're making it very difficult for the Central Intelligence agencies to do their job if you're running around and accusing other people. I'm telling you, they're talking in your head, and it's no one you know. Nobody.